If you've been following the news in the past few days, it appears that TikTok is this close to getting banned. I don't know what all the repercussions are going to be, but if you are looking to get all of your videos uploaded out of TikTok, this is the video to watch. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to scrape all of your videos from TikTok, upload them into a database, and also repost them into YouTube. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to set this up, but if you are interested in just downloading this thing immediately, no worries, I've got you. Go ahead and check out either my school community or my Gumroad. I've got a link in the description, but without further ado, I'll stop yapping and let's get into this. So they're both pretty similar, one's just more of an extension of the other. So the first one right here works by scraping the TikTok data. It's then putting the caption of your video into an AI model so that way we can generate a new title that's YouTube appropriate. From there, we're going to download the video and use a binary conversion. That way we can now upload it into Google Drive for our database and also YouTube for the upload. The second automation is a little bit different. So same idea, we start off just by scraping the data, but we also have to format it since we have multiple videos we want to upload. It's not going to get confused and just upload the same one. So once this loop gets activated, the first video gets stored into a Google Sheet. We'll then generate a new title based on the caption that you created. We'll then have it go into a binary conversion so that it can be stored in our database and uploaded to YouTube, and we'll have it marked as complete. We use this loop over item so that way we can start going through all our different TikTok videos and it'll automate uploading each and every single one of them. So let's start this off. We're going to add in a manual trigger. Essentially what this does is if we want to test, we just click this and it activates our sequence. So the next one we want to add is an HTTP node. And this is where we're going to start going into our scraper. So we're going to use a website called Rapid API. It's got a lot of great tools in here, but I found a really good TikTok one. So we're going to go with a free plan. We get 200 requests a month, and this is letting us pull our videos along with the metadata inside of it. Let's go back. So we're going to go to the side over here and we're going to go to user post videos. This is what's going to allow us to download the video and also remove the watermarks. So we just have a straight video and it's ready for upload. And for a target, we're going to keep it Node.js, but for a client, we want to switch from HTTP to Axios. This is the URL that we're going to want to copy. So go ahead and get that, go back in here and paste that in. We don't have to worry about authentication, but there are a few things we have to do. First off, we want to go to send headers. So let's head back into Rapid API, and the headers are authenticating our account. So we're going to copy in our X Rapid API key. We're going to go in here, paste that in, and then we're going to go over to value and copy in our key. We're going to add another parameter, and this is the Rapid API host. So copy that and paste. We're also going to copy this and paste that in as well. Now that we have our headers, we want to go over and click on send query parameters. So this is the data that we actually want to extract. So let's head back over in here and we're going to scroll up to params, click on that. And we want our unique ID because that's the name of our account. So let's go ahead and paste that in. And for the value, I'm going to do Karis the creator because that's my actual account. And underneath that, we want to go ahead and copy in count. Count is how many videos we're looking to pull. So for this first automation, I'm only going to add one since this is basically a tool that I can use so that every time I upload a TikTok, I can put it straight into YouTube, but in the future, we'll adjust this number. Now that we have our video in, we're going to want to add an OpenAI node. So let's go in here and we'll click on OpenAI, message a model. So we want to connect our OpenAI account, and once we have that, we're going to choose from a model. We're going to go with GPT-4. I find that it really does have a significant boost over the GPT 3.5. I think the titles are more creative. They just turn out a lot better. So remember, we're trying to get YouTube titles. So I have a prompt right here that I'm going to paste in. And essentially it says, in under 100 characters, create a catchy title for a YouTube video using this description. And to make ourselves a description, we're going to go to title and drag that in. And there we go. So we have JSON data videos title. So we're going to lock this role in as a user and that's it. So let's go ahead and test our step and see how this looks. So that's nice. So originally I had Batman's isn't the only one with a contingency plan since I was making a video about how to upload videos from TikTok to YouTube. We have our new one over here and it does a really good job and it's even able to implement the hashtags, which is pretty cool. So let's go ahead and move on to our next node. So we want to do another HTTP request. And what we're doing is we're about to convert the video data into binary. So this lets us download it. So we need to switch this from fixed to expression. So all we're doing in here is scrolling down to play and we're going to drag that in. So as you can see, we have our HTTP request and that name will change depending on the name of the node. we can click test step. And as you guys can see right here, our data has been converted into binary. So if we want to download this, we can. And if we want to view it, we can also do that. Oh, wow. It's a little weird, but whatever. So let's go ahead and go back to our list. And now all we got to do is add in a Google Drive node and we can upload our file. So let's drag that up here, click on it, and then make sure you connect your Google Drive account. If you're confused how to do that, I have a video that'll be linked in the description showing you how to connect to the entire Google Suite. So we're gonna go in here, and for input data, we're just gonna go ahead and leave it as that. But if you do wanna add a file name or anything like that, you can go ahead and go over here and just drag it over. And that way we can have our file actually name something. So let's scroll down to the parent drive, and I'm gonna be doing my own Google Drive. And this really comes down to how you have it set up, but I'm gonna do n8n test Google Drive. And now I wanna see what happens when I click test step to upload this thing. And as you can see, I don't have anything in my Google Drive yet, but I did run this automation, so something's bound to happen in a second. And as you guys can now see, my video is successfully uploaded into Google Drive, so we only have one more step and then we're gonna paste it right into YouTube. So we're gonna wanna add the YouTube node. So let's go ahead and type in YouTube. We'll click on this and we'll scroll down to upload a video. So we're gonna drag this a little bit closer, and then I want to connect the HTTP request 1 node into YouTube. So if we wanna update our title based on our OpenAI node, we just scroll over here to schema. We'll click on that, and then we'll drag this in here, and that'll give us our title. For the region code, it comes down to you. I'll go ahead and add in United States, America. And then for category, I don't know, education maybe, I don't know what I am. Now remember, for the input binary field, leave this at data. So that's just making sure that this right here gets uploaded. If we test our step, it'll upload our video straight to YouTube. So I'm gonna go back into my channel content and I'm gonna refresh this. That's sweet, it recognized it as a short. So yeah, it's only 43 seconds long and it's automatically categorizing it as a YouTube short. I have it set it to public, but you can adjust that on your own if you want it unlisted or private. I'll show you how to do that in a second. So heading back over in here, we can add more options, and then this lets us put in a description. Howdy. And then we could also do something like our privacy status. So I recommend keeping these on private until you can go through and proof and make sure that everything's good, but it's really up to you. But this is our first automation. So all this is doing right here is every time we click on this, the most recent video that we published gets a new AI generated title. And from there, the video gets downloaded, stored in a database, and uploaded to YouTube. Perfect. Now I know what you're thinking. Al, what about the rest of my videos? I want to upload everything in bulk. So now welcome to part 2. We're going to build an even bigger and more robust automation that helps you bulk upload all of your content. Since we're probably only going to be using this automation once, I'm going to leave it on the test trigger. So that way we just click it and everything starts getting uploaded. Next up, we're going to go ahead and add in an HTTP request node. So we're going to drag this in and we want to go back in here. And the only difference now is for count. We can add as many videos as we're looking to pull. I'm just going to stick to 3, but if you want to add more, go for it. There is one additional parameter we have to add in. So go ahead and click on this. And then if we go back, you can see this here called cursor. So how cursor works is every time you're scrolling and you start reloading more data, that would count as one cursor pull. So we're going to paste that in. And it really comes down to you guys. So if you have a ton of videos you're looking to pull in bulk, you might want to go through and just double check that. But just keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and test our step. So we have a ton of data right here, but no worries. I'm going to get this organized for you guys. Next, we want to go ahead and add an edit fields, and we want to add a set node. So this is going to allow us to edit our fields and start organizing our data better. So let's start off by adding in a field. We want to name this first one video IDs. So what this is doing is separating all our different videos out so that it doesn't get confused and start trying to upload everything at once. Now for the value, if you go ahead and click on here, I'm going to paste in a code that I had ChatGPT make for me. I wanted the data to be separated into array. This is going to help keep things organized. So this is going to separate all of our videos. That way it doesn't get confused. But we're not done yet. We want to go ahead and add another field in here, and we're going to name this play ID. So the play ID is what we're using to actually download the video and convert it into binary data. So we're going to do a similar thing. I went into ChatGPT for this one too. So I'm going to go in here. That way you guys can get a good look at what my code looks like. And I was just asking it, hey, write me a code using this JSON file to convert the data into array. So it wasn't too complicated and it was able to come up with this right here. Now, before we click on test, there's one thing we have to do. We want to convert this into an expression. That way it actually runs properly. So let's go ahead and click test step. And as you can see, we get all of our video IDs and they're separated by commas. And right here, we have all of our play IDs. So this is what we're using to actually download our video. So we're going to go ahead and click in here and we want to add in a code node. So we're going to have to do a little bit of coding. I know N8N's no code, but sometimes you got to get your hands dirty. But that's why we use ChatGPT, because we're able to generate code quickly. So to get this code right here, all I did was copy all this information right here, all the JSON data. I went into ChatGPT. And this is the prompt I was using for it. All I was doing was asking it to parse the IDs into arrays, iterate over them, ensure that it all matches, have a contingency if any of the data links fail, and then to return an array of objects where each one has a key. Don't forget, you don't have to be an expert on N8N or ChatGPT. It's all about thinking outside of the box to be able to manipulate the data in a way that works for you and doesn't break. So now that we have our code pasted in, let's go ahead and test our step. Every video ID has its unique play ID and it's all separated out for us, so we don't have to worry about the data constantly being confused or mixed up. So next up, we want to go ahead and add in our loop node. What this is doing is it's uploading things one at a time, and it's going to keep going back to the original data we have and adding the next one and continuing with the sequence. So this keeps it from all uploading at once and becoming like junk. So we're just going to keep our batch size at 1, and that's all we have to do. So after that, go ahead and delete this and add in a Google Sheet node. All we're going to do is go ahead and connect this, and then we're going to click into it. We want to scroll over here and drag in the video ID, and now we can go ahead and test our step. As you guys can see, the video ID was successfully uploaded. So let's go back into N8N, and from here I'm going to clean it up really quick. We're right about to get to the stage where we start uploading things, but there's one thing I want to do first, and that's right, we're going into the OpenAI node. And we're going to do message a model. So we're going to keep it at text, and we want to do GPT-4. So this is what I came up with in order to get the model working. In under 100 characters, create a catchy title for a YouTube video using this description. We're going to go into our HTTP request, and we're going to go ahead and drag in the title. So there we go. This is going to be able to create a title for us and keep the role at user, simplify the output. We're good to go. So let's test this step. And let's see, it says Beyond Batman, my contingency plan for the TikTok ban with N8N automation. Also, if you haven't watched Batman Beyond, highly encourage you to. That and the animated series, chef's kiss. Let's go ahead and move on. And from here, we're going to go ahead and in our search nodes, do another HTTP request. So this is downloading our video and it's converting it into binary. Now, in order to find our URL, we're just going to head up here to the top where it says JSON. We're going to click on this. We're going to change this over into loop over items, and we're going to drag in play. All this is doing is taking whatever data was entered into the loop over items, and it's only going to stick to using that one right there. So if we test this step, you can see that we get the binary field for the first video we wanted to see. So that's perfect. Let's go ahead and view this. There we go. There's a very handsome lad right there. Let's go back into our list. And from here, we're going to click out of that, and we're going to set up our Google Drive node. So we want to upload our file, and then we're just going to leave this down here as data. If you want to actually name your file, just go ahead and scroll in here, and you can name it by the title you gave it, or if you want, you can even go into Google Sheets and give it the video ID that we were able to identify it with. So that's perfect. We're going to use my drive, and then for this, we're going to do the N8N test Google Drive, and let's go ahead and test this step. And we'll go in here. And once I refresh it, as you guys can see, we get a new video uploaded. So that's perfect. And it'll take a second, but as you can see with the first one I tried, it's in there. Now that we have our Google Drive node updated, we're going to go ahead and add in the YouTube node. So let's go ahead and go in there, and we're going to go over to upload a video. We're going to drag in the HTTP request in here. So as you guys can see, we have our binary data right here. That's perfect. We're just going to leave this right here as data. And then for the title, we can head over to our schema. We want to drag in our OpenAI field here. And for the region code, I'm going with US, just depends on where you guys are from. So don't forget, we can scroll down over here. We can add more options. The one I added was to keep this private, but if you want, you can add a license, description, recording date, all this other good stuff. Let's go ahead and test if our YouTube node actually works. So we're going to click on test step, and the node's executing right now. If I go into YouTube Studio and I look, it's currently uploading my videos. Let's go back into N8N. So since we added in our YouTube node, we still want to track the progress of our data upload. So we're going to go ahead and type in Google Sheets again, and we want to do append or update a row in Sheet. Don't forget to connect it. Same thing as last time. I'm going to go with my N8N test sheet, and I'm going to go into TikTok data. And so for the column to match on, I'm going to do uploaded. And so for uploaded, I'm just going to say yes. So that means every time the video gets uploaded to YouTube, I can track it and I know that it's in there. We also want to go into data location on sheet. And for the header row, we're going to stick to 1 because that's where the column's names are. And for the first data row, we're going to do 2 because that's where it actually starts to put data in. So that's good. We have that working. Let's test our step. It gets uploaded into the columns. So we're going to add in a wait node, and we're going to set this to at least 5 minutes. We don't want to get flagged for spam, just rapidly uploading everything at one time. So I do recommend playing around with the times, making sure you're being careful. And we're going to drag this, we're going to delete this. We're going to drag this here, and then we're going to drag this back into our loop over items. So here's what's actually happening. Every 5 minutes, it's taking one of the video IDs as well as the file's binary code, and it's uploading it individually into YouTube or whatever platform you want to use. So if we want to be perfectionists and we want to mark when everything's been uploaded, we can just add another Google Sheets node. We can do append or update row. So we're just going to drag this done line right in here and connect it to the Google Sheet, and that means that our loop is complete. And we'll do document, N8N test sheet, TikTok data, and we want to do total upload status. So we're going to click on that. We're going to delete these, and we're also going to delete that, and we're going to mark this as complete. So if I test this step right here and I go back into my Google Sheet, it'll show every video that we wanted to upload as complete. And it's only marking it like this because it's pretending that it'll loop through all the videos. But if we actually run the workflow, it'll work. So let's go ahead and test this whole thing out. So I'm going to go ahead and click on test workflow. It gets scraped, all the fields get converted, and then from here it's downloading our video, uploading it into Google Drive, and then it's going to get uploaded into YouTube. And now the whole cycle is going to repeat itself after waiting 5 minutes so that we don't get marked as spam. So I'm going to let this thing run for a few minutes, but I'll show you the end result. All right, as you guys can see, this is just a few of the videos that automatically uploaded straight to YouTube. So it's taking the description from my video. This one mentioned Batman, so I implemented that. And then I've got survived the TikTok ban with this automation and how I automate my YouTube content creations. But yeah, while I have you guys here, don't forget to check out my channel. Every subscription counts, and it really does help me out when you guys check out my content. So I do appreciate all of you. If you're looking to download these automations, I've included a link to both my school community as well as my Gumroad. I've also included a link on my personal website for you to set up a meeting with me. Doesn't matter if you just want to shoot the shit or if you're looking for some type of consulting advice, I'm here for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more AI automation for you and your business.
Peace.